Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I know it is fractionally early. I hope you are all watching, because our female from last night that we chatted a lot about the fact that she was looking like she was going to give birth, is definitely starting the process this morning. It's the female lying down there. This is incredible. This is absolutely amazing to be able to follow this story. There's the sub-adult that was with her yesterday that we suspected was one of her previous offsprings. A couple of little calves also keeping her company. But she's just laid down. And this whole process we're going to follow from start to finish, which is absolutely amazing. Welcome to the Sunrise Safari on SafariLIVE. My name is Jamie. I have Andrew on camera with me this morning, who's going to be recording his first live birth.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Come on, girl, you can do it. You can push for us. This is incredible. And remember that this is live, so this is happening right here on Djuma and Arathusa Game Reserves in the Sabi Sands in the Greater Kruger National Park of South Africa. And you can send through your questions on hashtag SafariLIVE on Twitter, or you can email through to questions@wildearth.tv. And our 6th baby wildebeest, just like this one, is soon going to be 7. Good morning, little ones. You're going to have another cousin soon. Oh, this is incredible to see. Now, the reason that we know that she's giving birth is that her water has broken. The way that she was standing, she's starting to secrete something, and the way that she was shifting about uncomfortably before she lay down. I'm not going to push it by trying to go any closer, just because I don't want to add to any stress in her life. But we may well be lucky in spending a bit of time and actually seeing this birth happen. It can take up to an hour, or even more, depending on the birth situation. We are going to be here to watch the whole process. We spent 3 hours with this herd yesterday on the Sunset Safari, just waiting to see what would happen. Oh. That poor female. Being chased by the male. It's all happening out here on quarantine. The male impala is confused. He thinks it's mating season. It's not mating season. It's baby season. But because of the high levels of estrogen, it confuses them a little bit and they get all distracted. Oh, she's up there. She stood up because of the impala. They're always on high alert at this time of year, and for good reason. This is the kind of time when they're at their most vulnerable. There's all kinds of animals out here, like wild dog, hyena, and lion, that will take advantage. Oh, that poor girl. Last thing she needs to do is be expending energy running away from a male who's got his ideas a bit mixed up. Barreling about. Wildebeest calves taking a while to wake up this morning. She's lying back down again. Definitely struggling a little bit. You can see the way that she's holding her tail like that, lifted slightly away from her body. And now it's just a matter of playing the waiting game. How incredible is it that we get to sit and witness an event that has happened every year for the last however many millions of years at this time of year. Fly was bugging her there. Good morning, girl. Be interesting to see how she... What are you two up to? Chasing the sub-adult away from the young calves. Yeah, 2 sub-adults. Hey, big girl. The wildebeest all in high spirits. It'll be interesting to see, as I was about to say, what will happen with her when the rest of the herd moves towards a different area, and if she'll stay with them or stay on her own on quarantine. Fascinating how they choose to give birth in these open areas. But it makes sense, at least they can see around them. Now, we discussed this yesterday afternoon in terms of what time is the best for wildebeest to give birth. And we settled on the fact that probably first thing in the morning, so that the calf has the whole day to start to stand and wobble, strengthen its legs, and be able to move around before the predators start to get active at night. This is the perfect time for her to have a baby. The rest of the wildebeest are in high spirits. Now, I'm guessing that it is the female that we saw yesterday, just because of the way that that female was responding and acting. She looked hugely pregnant and uncomfortable. That being said, I know Curious One was wondering if there's any identifying markers, and the answer is no, not that I can see. As far as I can tell, she doesn't have any different horns, any holes in her ears. The only thing that sets her apart for me... Oh, no, don't stand on her. Go fight somewhere else. Look at that. You can see something dangling. She's contracting. Brian, I think she's going to be absolutely fine. I really do. She's just going through the natural processes of normal labor. There we go. She's pushing. Oh, this is incredible. Come on, girl. Push hard. You can do it, girl. You can do it. How special is it that we get to share this moment? Here we go. Come on, girl. Oh, there we go. Come on. Is that the head there? Looks like the head. So close. Come on, girl. Push. I'm at a loss for words. Good girl. I genuinely have goosebumps to be able to witness this. Come on, girl. There you go. It's coming. Oh, she's up. There's feet. I can see the feet. Mm-hmm. Oh, my word. Push, girl. Come on, push. This whole process may take a while. I'm going to stay with her, but I'm going to give her a very wide berth. Excuse the pun. Just so that we don't disturb her. She's back down again. my voice down so that she doesn't feel in any way threatened. One of the other wildebeest coming up to have a look at this whole process. Come on, girl. You can do it. As I said, it can take up to an hour. We'll be with her the whole time. Come on, big girl. Andy, I agree. This is completely spellbinding. It is totally breathtaking that we get to experience this moment. There is something so very special about it. It still, for me, is one of those, we chatted a little bit about mysteries of nature yesterday. This still, for me, is one of the most phenomenal things. That wildebeest has the mechanism inside her to produce a new life. She's going with the rest of the herd, so she's still walking. Oh, this is incredible. Let me just see where she's going to go. She's watching us, and I don't want to disturb her or make her feel threatened in any way. Guys, how lucky are we to be watching this? Barbara, I hope so too. It should be fine. This is all part of the natural process. Barbara was saying she hopes that the baby doesn't suffocate. I'm just going to roll forward. She'll come to us. There she is. Shame. She needs to push though and get it out. Shouldn't suffocate. But that's barring any kind of breached birth. The feet come out first, and it does happen. I know that many of you watched the live birth from last year, so you're familiar with the whole process. I'm not. I have to confess, this is the first time I've ever seen a wildebeest giving birth, so I am beside myself with awe and amazement. Talking her through it, telling her to push. Vicky says I'm a good birthing coach. I'm pretty sure she's got this one. I'm just providing the encouragement she might need. Oh, this mind-boggling. I cannot describe this feeling. Oh, shame. Lying down. Having a bit of a rest again. For now, just because this process does take a while, I'm not going to move any closer. We don't need to disturb her any further. I wonder what she must be thinking at this moment. Come on, girl. You can do it. Seeing all of those babies wander around her. Gamble around her. Oh, up again. Sharon, she's one of the most stoic mothers I've ever seen, personally. Sharon, who's watching in Pittsburgh, says she's doing this very quietly. Is that so as not to attract predators? Yes, absolutely. Giving birth noisily is not an option out here. You really, really don't want to draw attention to yourself. All right, little one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 little babies all around us, and one to come. This is incredible. I'm really at a loss for words. Hello, little one. You coming to say hello? What you doing? What you doing? Hello? My goodness. Curiosity. This little one's just come up to us. And those incredible eyelashes. Baby, your mommy's not here. Came right up to within 5 meters of the car. Curiosity is a powerful factor when you're that age. Learning all about the world around you. I don't want to start the car engine because I don't want to give it a fright. There's mommy. There's mommy. Aww. Reunited. Got a little bit dazed and confused there.
The pregnant one.
I'm just looking. I think she's at the back there, or unless this is her coming through here, walking strangely. But I think she's just trying to stay undercover. Okay, let's go around. Oh no, the way that one's holding her tail. Let's just double check. That looks like her at the back there. Staying within the protection of the herd. There we go, you can see the feet at the back. I'm quite astounded that she's still focused on feeding as well. Still eating. Oh well, I suppose. Keep yourself well fed. Just looking at the way that she's walking, I would say yes, it probably is uncomfortable. It must be, surely, to walk around with feet sticking out of you like that in labor, but it's so important to her survival. Such an important aspect of it. Stop here for now. As I said, I don't want to push her. Having chatted a bit about how painful it must be walking. Oh, look at the way she's standing. Oh, she's lying down again. I think it must be incredibly uncomfortable to have contractions, having to push, and still walking around. But she's got to be able to, because worst comes to worst, she's got to be able to get up and run away. I can see her straining. Come on, girl. I really am at a loss for words. So those little hooves that are coming out, we've discussed it so many times about the fact that in utero, the fetuses have deciduous hoof capsules, a soft hoof covering, to stop them from damaging the mother's internal lining. It's something that dissolves almost immediately after birth, but those hooves will be covered in very soft mucus type layer. Oh, hyena. Oh, there's a hyena. This morning could take a direction that none of us wanted to go in. Where did it go? The wildebeest they're gonna gang up on it. They're actually gonna chase it away. Or try to. Forming a solid rank there. protective around that female. The zebra are there as well. Zebra are fantastic companions to have, just by sheer determination. Let's try and get a different visual. Which way is she gonna go? Where's that hyena gone? Now, luckily, vegetation here is not too thick, so we should be able to watch this from start to finish. If she does go into thick bush, if that does happen, I'll do my utmost to stay with her, but only to the point that it doesn't disturb her. We're not going to be responsible for making her life more difficult than it already is. The closed ranks of the wildebeest. She is still feeding, so this process could take a while. But she's very close to the zebra, which is exactly where she needs to be. Ooh. That's just a pea. There you can see her moving at the back there. Straining. You can see that posture of her back. Look how she's pushing. There's more liquid coming out. Come on, girl. Push. Push harder. See, she's still feeding. It's quite impressive dedication to breakfast, I must say. Keep your strength up, girl. And give birth at the same time. These animals are phenomenal. It's incredible. I never would have guessed that they'd stop to eat whilst pushing a baby out. Boggles my mind. And I love how nonchalant the rest of the wildebeest and the zebra are. This is just part of their everyday world.
Do you think the hyena can smell that liquid?
I'm sure the hyena can smell that liquid. She's secreting a combination of amniotic fluid, blood and mucus, and I'm sure that hyena will be aware of it. We've just got to absolutely hope that the zebra and the rest of the wildebeest herd will help to keep her safe. Not sure where the hyena went. It disappeared off, but we'll be keeping an eye on it if we see it again. Bush girl. Come on. I can see her straining. Contractions are very close together. Come on, girl. I wonder what the babies think of this whole process. Probably not much. Oh, this is incredible. Come on, girl. Just keep pushing. We haven't progressed any further than we were earlier. We could be here for quite a while. But I cannot believe that we're getting to experience this moment. After the entire afternoon, 3 hours of sitting with them yesterday, to now be experiencing this moment. And I just hope that hyena's disappeared off. Sun rising on the start of this little wildebeest's new life. It's amazing how emotionally invested we all feel in this. I'm sure you all agree. Just let her decide where she's going to go. Zebras are running around, but I think that's more just conflict between the individuals. I've lost sight of her. I'm going to loop far away and around. Hey Jeffrey, we knew it was going to happen. It's a stretch. We said it yesterday. But this time it's actually happening. We knew it. We were right. Lost sight of exactly where she was. Luckily we've got Scott here as an extra pair of eyes as well. And as I said, giving a wide area of comfort for her, just out of respect for what she's going through. She's somewhere here with the rest of the herd. She might be lying down. Zebra, you're in my way. But stay here because we need an extra set of protective hooves. Yeah, I think that's her lying down there. Is her. See her straining. Let's just stop here for a moment. Right next to another wildebeest calf. Look how curious it is. Stopping to have a sniff. Oh, and lie down. Right next to her. This behavior is incredible. Level of comfort and protection from the rest of the herd. She's pushing really hard now. You can see her eyes bulging. Hey little babies, I never thought I'd say this, but could you move out of our way so we could see? Shame, look at her straining. So far, from what I can see, it's still just the legs, but she's pushing so hard.
Can we try go 1 inch forward? Just a small
tiny fraction forward for Andrew.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
You can see the veins bulging on her stomach. I think I can see the nose. Is that the nose there? Look at that. Well done, girl. You're almost past that first hurdle. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There, that head is right there. She just needs to get past it. Head and shoulders, that's the worst part. Come on. Oh, standing. How on earth she can manage to stand, I don't know. These animals are so much more resilient than we are. But every time the herd moves, she moves with them. such a breathtaking moment. Never have I felt like the entire world is so on the side of this female. Quite literally sense everybody across the globe all chanting for her and saying words of encouragement. Very slowly here because there's lots of dead branches to make a noise and we don't need to do that. There she is. Lying down again, straight into the rising sun. She's at the back there. I can't loop around her just because of how thick the bush is on that side. There you can see. Oh, little one having a sniff. There's the nose. I can see the nose. Come on, girl. Yes. Come on. Oh, look at that. Here comes the head. You can do it, girl. Come on. A couple more big pushes. Oh, I can see it moving. Come on, push. Shame, she's exhausted. Come on, girl. I've actually run out of words here. She just needs to get that head out. I don't think I've ever felt so emotionally invested in a sighting in my life. Oh, don't. Come on, girl. You can see the nose. Look at the steam coming off her. Come on, girl. You just need to get that head out, and then the shoulders. The rest of it will come easy. We've been with her for 35 minutes now. She really needs to get this part through. She's trying to stand. Up she gets. There you go. She's moving towards some thick bush, but you're gonna stay with her. Come on, girl. You can do it. This is where it could happen really, really fast. Oh, she's lying down there. So let the engine run for a moment. see where she's going to go. It might be worth moving around to the other side of her. There she goes. Yeah, she's moving off to the right there. She's going to go and join the bulk of the herd. Safety in numbers and all that. Where did she go? I think she's around the other side of these bushes. Can you see her lying down anywhere, Andrew? No. Around, get to the other side of this clump of bushes without adding any kind of disturbance to her. She's in there, just behind that side. Is one of my, I think probably my best morning working at SafariLIVE so far. Just here somewhere. In fact, I think that might be her there. Happening completely the way that it should. The only question, there she is. There she is. It's just a matter of not disturbing her in any way, shape or form. It takes a while. It's a long process. It's not the best view for now, but she will get up and move in a moment. And with 2 other vehicles in this sighting, it's important that we give her as much space as possible. This position, I can't tell if she's got any further in the whole process. You can see the discomfort though. No, still the same stage. Just feet. Just little feet. And one slightly curious sub-adult. Don't know where that hyena's gone, but I haven't seen it since that very brief glimpse. I think it's amazing that she can get up and walk. I don't think I could do the same. Yes, girl, we're talking about you. Your baby's going to be famous. Oh, shame. Lying down again. Trying to take advantage of being in the center of this herd as much as possible. We've been with her for about 40 minutes. Still just feet. She hasn't managed to get over that crucial stage of getting the head out. Come on, girl. You can do it. Push. This is an area of very dense vegetation. We may have to satisfy ourselves with glimpses of her through the bush. Pushing again, another contraction. Brian, I honestly don't know when it's not normal anymore. I do know that these labors can go on for quite an extended period of time. And we'll know in the next 30 minutes or so. If she hasn't got the head out in that time period, then I would say it's time to start becoming concerned. But even then, I suppose it's entirely individually based. Come on, girl. Hey, Zebby. You're you're blocking the best view there. And as I said, valuable protectors to have around. That particular female. She's going to lie down again. Yeah. I'm not getting closer for now. Just giving her some time to experience those contractions without feeling pressured into standing up again. The other wildebeest are giving her a gentle sniff. Every time the herd moves, she'll move with them, which is interesting. It's an interesting approach to this whole process, to try and stay right within the center of the group. You can see her straining, tail up. You can do it, girl. Another curious wildebeest coming to investigate. Have a good sniff. What's happening? Still hasn't managed to get the head out. She's up. Moving into a patch of very dense vegetation. Should be able to stay with her though. Might just take a little bit of extra maneuvering. That dense pocket of vegetation there underneath the marula tree. Hopefully it opens up a little bit as we get further in. I honestly have no idea whether it's her first birth, but I don't think so. I really don't, and just because of the way that she's been behaving with that particular sub-adult. Bear with me one moment, I just want to chat to Taxon. Can you still see her there? She's gone in there. Oh, shame. It's a bit thick. She's just in the vegetation somewhere ahead of us. Ginny, I think that sub-adult that was with her was a calf from a previous year, just because of the way that it stuck with her the entire time. To keep moving around, but I'm going to stay well on the other side of her so as not to pressurize her. I know that Taxon is also looping around with us. I'm sorry, with three vehicles moving in there, I'm actually going to stop because she doesn't need that additional pressure. I'll let the other vehicles go in as they want to. I'm not going to take a third running engine into a thick block after a wildebeest in labour. Just wait for them to turn their engines off. Just give it 1 moment. Let's head down to the road. The wildebeest were heading in that direction. And we'll see if we can find them in an open clearing. Oregon, you were wondering if those zebra are consciously acting as guardians for that wildebeest. I don't think so. I think that there's an instinct to chase predators away. That being said, I don't know everything that happens in an animal's head. So I could be completely mistaken. It might be something, it might be an approach that they've deliberately adopted. You do hear stories of the atavistic, not atavistic, but altruistic impulse in some animals to look after and guard each other. Now, Jose, who's watching in Virginia, you were wondering if she struggles in labor, would there be any help available to her? The answer is no. Unfortunately not. It is one of those sad facts of nature that she is essentially on her own in all of this. The wildebeest have disappeared off into a thick block. We're going to need to do some serious negotiating around trees. Apparently, one of them disappeared last year, disappeared off into a very thick bush, and made it just in time, because the viewers thought that she had disappeared for good, and that we were going to miss the birth. I'm not too worried about us missing the birth. I'm more concerned about making sure that we don't have a negative impact on what's happening in her life. And with 3 vehicles in the sighting, I'm just playing it extra safe. It's a pleasure. I strongly believe in not having a negative impact just so that we get to watch what we want to watch. We've managed to navigate our way back out onto the road, where we find ourselves in something of a sighting traffic jam. Now I'm going to need to negotiate our way around this. There they go. Yeah, that's where the herd is. Hiding away in some very dense vegetation. Not too sure where she is, and I'm not going to go bundu bashing in towards her. Totally unnecessary to bash through bushes. She will be here somewhere though. Didn't see her as we came through the block. Now I imagine that the protection of dense shrubbery may well be what it is she's looking for, as well as the protection of the herd. I need to have some discussions with the other vehicles in the sighting, as well as reposition, and I'm sure that Brent is dying to say hello to you this morning. I'm sure he is very keen to give you an update as to what he's been up to. So we're going to head across to Brent so he can say good morning. Don't worry, we'll bring you straight back across as soon as something happens. I'll be back with you very shortly.
Oh, good morning. Isn't that absolutely fantastic? Baby wildebeest coming into the world with Jamie. Brian and I, obviously, we're the poorer vehicle this morning. We're driving around quietly. Not much out here so far, but what a beautiful morning. And we did hear a report that Karula has crossed back into Djuma, so we're checking her regular haunts, and hopefully we'll find some tracks soon. And so far we've seen 3 waterbuck and a steenbok, so it has been very, very quiet, but very, very, very pleasurable out here in the nice early morning. So we're heading down towards the Mulwati, which is the main drainage line at Djuma, which is basically a dry creek. And we're going to go drive down the creek bed. It's a good place to look for tracks. It's been so hot, and it's still really hot. I mean, this morning started off at 23 degrees Celsius. I can't remember the Fahrenheit. Can you, Brian? I think it's 60 something. And 73 Fahrenheit this morning. Thank you, Kirsty, in Final Control. So it is really, really warm. It is going to be an absolute stinker today. I had an interesting day, to say the least, yesterday. I did the town trip, and our little bakkie, and a bakkie is a South Africanism, I suppose, for a pickup. Lacks air conditioning, and it was a very long day in town, collecting wood, building shelving in the storeroom, getting all the fuel for the cars, and water to drink. We don't drink the water out of the taps here. It's got a very, very high lime content. Even our cars, believe it or not, can't drink tap water. We have to give them water from a bottle, because that lime actually clogs up the water pump, and actually you can blow an engine. And that's what happened to Jigga a while back. I think today, between the safaris, is definitely going to be a day in the pool. So, I mean, imagine that. 72 degrees Fahrenheit at 4:30 in the morning. Oh, hello. I can do this without unplugging. And it's a dangerous part because this is where all the pugnacious ants live. And here we go, little porcupine quill. So you can't see it, but there are tiny little barbs on this that when they get stuck into something makes it more difficult for them to come out. And despite popular belief, porcupines are not able to shoot their quills out and back themselves with aggression into an aggressor. And I'm pretty sure, looking at that hole there, excuse me, that's where the porcupine's living. See, there's a hole and a mound of sand that has been excavated. And of course, the subject of the morning is live birds. And Laura would like to know if I've seen any live birds. I came very close yesterday to seeing a wildebeest as well born. We arrived probably 45 seconds after it fell out. And it's quite unceremonious birds at the bush. There's no sort of pampering, you just whap onto the ground. But I haven't seen any live birds since I've been here. But I've seen quite a few birds in the wild. I've seen impala, wildebeest, zebra, buffalo, elephant. So I have been lucky, and I think there's a few more I've seen I can't think of offhand. Oh, hippo, another one. So we're about to enter the Mawasi. You'll see how the bush changes, much bigger trees. And there's some of my favorite trees at Juma along here. And these wonderful leadwood trees like this one here. Really, really spectacular trees. Now, let's go see, and that's a big marula that Brian swept to. Let's go see if we can find a leopard in a tree. I've taken leopard on the ground or in the tree. So no sign of tracks yet. Nice things about driving down little creek beds like this, you can be very lazy, don't need any hands. And if I put myself into four-wheel drive and second gear, I'll take my earpiece out and say, bye Brian, I'm gonna go check for leopard tracks over there. And I get back to the car with no problem whatsoever. Obviously don't try that at home. Years of experience in the bush to be able to pull off a daring feat like that. And what have we been walking in Nyala? Always double check. Cicadas, but it is such a still morning. It's still being so warm this morning. There was barely a bird calling even at 4 o'clock when we woke up. We have some elephant tracks, which where they're going. Crossing that way. And those are quite, oh, there's more elephant tracks. Which way are these ones going? Also that way. So if we find nothing else here, at least we know we can go look for some ellies. I can hear a little redback shrike chipping. They quite often like to perch in open, prominent spots. So let's see if we can spot him. And then on here. Of course, this red-backed shrike doesn't want to perch in a prominent spot. Wildebeest have moved into a bit of thick bush. Jamie's just trying to reposition to get you guys in the best spot possible. Black-crowned chagra calling. Seems like we've got a bit of a bird party here. So I think I'm going to get a little bit further into it and see if we can pick up a few bird species for the birders out there. Oh, isn't that fascinating? What those were. There's a huge amount of bugs that have obviously been a hatch of some kind on all these trees around here. I'm going to stop and see if we can have a look at them now. And the birds are feasting off them. You just see them buzzing around. Oh, can't even see them, they're so quick. I don't know if you can just catch the light glinting off them. So if I pull this branch, see what happens. You see, lots of things. Can't see what they are. Are they little moths? Moths flying around. And there's just literally thousands of them on that acacia. It's a very upset rattling testicular. Oh, that wasn't a rattling testicular, that one. Didn't get a good view. It looked like maybe a grey-headed sparrow. But there's a rattling testicular. Where are we looking, Brian?
At all the bugs now.
Oh, at all the bugs. Oh, look at all those moths. Thousands of them. And the rattling testiculars are eating them in the tree opposite. And you hear that very distinct call. Do, 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 do. Okay, we go up. You see them hopping around there? They're moving quite a bit there. Very difficult sometimes to find these tiny little birds. Try and move forward a bit. They're so well camouflaged. Nickname for that type of bird, which we're trying to show you now, is an LBJ, a little brown job. Oh, it's made in a disappearing act. There's another little brown job calling over there. We can sneak up on one. There. Okay, let's do a safety from a bit of distance. If we have a look. And that one there, Brian. And up. There. I think, there we go. What's that one? Has it moved? Oh, it moved already. Sneaky. No, is it higher? No, oh, let's just go have a closer look. You can hear them calling, making such a noise. No, it's disappeared again. Very quick. It's amazing. As I was just saying how quiet it was and the birds weren't making any noise, all of a sudden we come around the corner, there's an emergence of moths, and testiculars are making an incredible noise. Look at this very interesting track here. Now, can you believe that? If you look closely in the track, you'll see little ants moving. So they have traveled up and down this path so much that they've created that hollow. And they're tiny. Amazing stuff out here. Oh, one of my favorite families of butterfly, feeding on a commelina. Looks like an acrea. Now, which one is another story altogether? But we can possibly work it out. And one thing that gets a bit difficult with acreas, there's even a species called a pseudo-acrea. So obviously pretending to be poisonous, a mimic. Let's try to get a little bit closer. Don't fly. Oh, of course we flew. I think this might be a pseudo-acrea. Disappearing there. So this is a pseudo-acrea, a fake acrea. Possibly. What do you think, Brian? Maybe not. I think I saw more black. So let's get on to the real acreas. Other way, I think. There we go. Okay. Water, maybe? Did have those black spots. I didn't have that good a look at it. One of the bigger species, not one of the little acreas. And quarter's looking good so far. Oh no. What do you think, Brian? Acrea anemosa. I think that's definitely winning. Yes, Acrea anemosa. Now, as I said, this butterfly book was not made for the layman. It is very user-friendly. And now, to find, it doesn't tell you the page where the information is, so you actually have to go into the index of the scientific names. Unfortunately, an A and A is right up at the beginning. So, yes, 157. And to find out its English name. If it has one, a lot of them don't. But I'm sure this one does. Acrea anemosa, definitely see it occurs where we are. It's called a Christmas tree acrea. Isn't that wonderful? And wasn't that absolutely wonderful for this time of the year? And then normally the other interesting thing, and its larval host plant is a Medina flower. So acreas are highly noxious. While they are caterpillars, they sequester a high...
Guys, fantastic news. In the time that it took us to loop around it, she managed to have her little baby. It's up and out and walking. We can't push any closer, just because it is nervous and new to the whole world. But it is alive and well and soaking wet and already on its feet. That is incredible news. So wonderful to see. Oh, I'm so happy for her. What a brilliant job she's done. And as you can see, there's some very, very dense vegetation. I just had to give you that particular update. Shame she's run off somewhere there. I don't want to go pushing after her just because this is monkey orange thicket. But we did have a really, really brief view of her out and about with her new baby. Oh, how special is that? Never fear, we will get a view of her, but it's just a matter of being patient and working our way towards it. What a special, special morning. Vegetation's coming for us. Where did she go? And what a brilliant job she did. It must have happened so fast in the time that she came in here. And already that little creature's up on its feet and running. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I don't want to push any further into this block because I don't want to be responsible for separating her from the rest of the herd. So we're just going to keep moving in big circles. What a special, special way to start a day. To be part of the arrival of new life. Hello, the rest of you. Hello, beasties. Hello. All right, I'm going to pull out of this block. There's lots of little babies around, and I don't want to keep this lot separated from the rest of them. And I especially don't want to keep her from the rest of the herd. Oh, another very pregnant girl. Here they all come. Some very large ladies moving through. Absolutely blows my mind that we were at just part of, even that small part of that whole experience. And now to know that that baby is alive and well and running around is just phenomenal to me. As I said, I'm going to pull out of this block. And I'm glad you guys all feel like you can breathe. Me too. I was very much emotionally invested in that particular process. So I'm thrilled that she has safely delivered her new arrival. You can see why I'm reluctant in terms of noise. You can see why I'm reluctant to go and try and follow her through this block. This monkey orange, this dense, dense vegetation is not subtle and not quiet. I'm going to leave these wildebeests so that they can reunite with that female. And we're going to loop around and see if we can get a view from the road. We're not pushing any further in to try and find her. Now, Lena apparently was wondering whether or not I was going to name the baby. And the answer is probably not. Not just yet. I want to see that it's up and about on its feet. The more you name something, the more attached you become to it. Now, of course, obviously I'm fully hoping that that little one is going to be safe and sound and live a happy life. But for now, I'm going to hold off on naming it. I also want to see it properly before we think about it. But I'm happy to open it up to the floor if you guys want to think of a name for the little one. you can come up with some more creative ideas as to what it should be called. I believe one wildebeest in particular was called Brian last year, one baby wildebeest, because Brian films the birth. Oh my word, the never-ending block of monkey orange. Let us head back across to Brent while I try and negotiate out of here, and I'll catch up with you very shortly.
There's a hornbill, but that's not the reason we've stopped. It's that high-pitched chirring sound coming from inside the bush, which is the alarm call of a francolin. I wonder what its alarm calling at. It could be a leopard. It could be an eagle. It could be a mongoose. It might be worth having a look. Here it is, right in this bush. There's a guinea fowl on the ground. Could also be alarming at a snake. In this spike film, there could be a snake. I don't think it's a leopard. It's very upset. I mean, it could be a snake really deep inside this. Well, it flew. While we're doing cactus. Oh, of course it's going to fly away. There's another butterfly. Have you got him, Brian? Too far. So another little butterfly. No need to go to the book for this one. I know it quite well. It's called a yellow pansy. Very, very pretty. Okay, well, can't see any predator that's been annoying the francolin, so we'll continue on. These moths are everywhere. It's incredible, you only really see them when they're flying. Oh, there's one here. I'm going to have to get out my other book to try identify that moth, but there are thousands of them everywhere. Now, I think, watch this. If you go wide, Brian, I'm going to pull this branch. And it's going to explode. Look at them. Everywhere. Now, on the subject of insects, good morning to Jose. And welcome on Games Live with us, Jose. Jose would like to know, do we have any army ants? Not like you do in East Africa or West and Central Africa, but we do have a type of army ant here called a matabele ant. And what that means is it's named after the Indabele or Matabele people, who were a warrior nation, and they used to pillage around all sorts of areas. So what happened was Mzilikazi, who was the first king of the Indabele, who were actually an offshoot from the Zulus. So Mzilikazi decided he didn't like what Shaka Zulu was doing, so he took his whole regiment of around 10,000 warriors and he ran away with them. Shaka sent many regiments out to try and catch them, but he got, the first place he stopped was just outside modern-day Johannesburg or near Pretoria, and then from then moved up into Zimbabwe. And the town of Bulawayo is where the Indabele set up shop, their main capital. And Bulawayo means the place of killing. So quite horrific sort of execution styles that Indabeles and Zulus used to use. Not going to go into too much detail about those. But so there's that group of ants, they march out in a regiment and they attack termite colonies. And they'll massacre hundreds of termites and pick up all their lifeless corpses and march them back to wherever their nest is. So there we go, that's the closest we have to our ant. They can bite incredibly painfully. I just saw movement and I was, oh, that is just an impala. Very quiet here on the southern front. So we're gonna head, see if there's anything happening towards the Arathusa side, but while we're on our way there, Christy in Missouri is saying, why do moths congregate in large groups like the ones we've just seen? You'll probably find, Christy, that they're congregating on their different larval host plants. So they'll all be laying their eggs on those specific plants and their caterpillars will feed on those specific plants, is normally the reason you have big congregations of moths like that. Hello, impalas. It's about the biggest thing we've seen today. Goodbye, impalas. Very pretty. So we haven't seen any tracks of Kula. I know she did look, but I can't find any tracks of her. So it's possible she's in one of those big blocks. Oh, forget this. This is a wind. Okay, you see that? Is he still there? Oh, no. Okay, there he is. Oh, no, he's gone again. Oh, you evil little creature. That was a long-billed crombeck, a tiny little bird, one of the smallest. I'll find a picture for you. But one of the hardest to get on camera. That's why I thought, oh, we'll give it a go, just in case we might get it. Oh, time to test the cameras in this morning. I think since Jamie's had birthing, yeah, where did it go? Skink basking, but I think he might have disappeared into the grass. Just drive a bit closer, he might get a fright. That's a different one, but there we go. Oh, do you see how fast he went? So he's at the base of that little, there he is. That's a little sand skink or bushveld skink, and they're capable of incredible speed. And that's not the one I saw. The one I saw had a red tail, but still a skink. Out hunting, and even here, when it gets very hot, when the skinks are out, they'll actually swap feet, dip, 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 to keep as little of their feet on the hot sand as possible. Good camera work, Brian. Chasing speedy skinks. Madam, don't run. Here we go. There's a nice female kudu. She looks like she could be a bit pregnant. She got a scar on her bum there. Looks like it. Looks like she got off escaping from a predator at some point. Maybe not. Look at that. Those wonderful, huge ears. Very relaxed female. Normally you don't let us stop this close. And she does look quite pregnant, very big belly. So, westward we continue. Thank you for the interlude, Madame Kudu. And you can see a lot of the animals are already moving into the shade. I'm not even sure what the time is, but I'm guessing it's around 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m. and it's already past jeepers, and it's already possibly, I would guess, temperature probably pushing up towards 26, 27 degrees Celsius, so probably closing in on 80 Fahrenheit already at 6:30 a.m. Confirmation, it's 28 degrees Celsius, which is, I'm not even going to try to do the maths. I'm going to wait for Kirsty to tell me in my ear. There we go, thank you, Kirsty. 82 Fahrenheit. Already. So I'm going to have to go out of communication with the final control for a few seconds while I get my own update. While I do that, I'm going to link across to Jamie. Let's see what she's got.
Well, the excitement has died down a little bit, for the wildebeest at least. They've settled down in the shade. The new mom is still very much in a very thick block. She's just off into the block to the left of me. Now, I'm not going to push through and make that poor little calf run around when it's just been born. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a loop around, go and investigate some other places, and then come back to this area. I think she's going to make her way to join the rest of the herd there, where they're sleeping in the shade. It's just too dense and too noisy. The fact that we just got to share that small portion of that incredible experience was so magical. Andreen suggested Paddy or Patterson. We've got lots and lots of names coming through. Paddy for short, Patterson the long way. Let's go see what else we can find. We have to do a loop, so we'll have to pass by Inger's, which is where we live. We might even get a lucky rare glimpse. Oh, no, I don't think Eugene's here. We might be. Loop around this side and we'll be able to see them clearly. Here, Canute from Karen. There we go. Is that it there? Can't be surely. No, I think that's one of the other ones. It'll still be wrecked. Hello, guys. Has it been an interesting morning for you all? Where's your new arrival? Hiding in the bushes. Newington, pronounced Newington, from Karen. 7 little baby wildebeest. Resting up in the shade. And Tommy and Shannon have suggested it should be called Jamie, I'll add a caveat to that and say that if it's a boy, then it should be called Andrew, since he is providing the fantastic camera work, and without him we wouldn't have been able to view any of it in particularly trying conditions. Resting in the morning light. I'm sure she's in there somewhere just behind this group, but I'm not going to go and investigate. It'll be an interesting time for that sub-adult calf as well. That's up until now was hanging out with Mom quite happily. And we've still got at least 2 other pregnant females that are still due to give birth. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this wonderful wildebeest herd. How lucky are we that they've chosen to stick around, quarantine essentially, and share these magical moments with us. And it's unbelievably hot for this time of morning. Today is going to be scorching. That little wildebeest has its first introduction to a world that is bright and burningly hot already. As I said, they have a rough start to life, and that includes all of the parasites that come with living in the bush. And Virginia, who's watching in Kentucky, Virginia wants to know if the ticks will go for them straight away. And yes, they absolutely will. But the one thing that's interesting about wildebeest and the tick situation is that for some reason they tend to be more tick resistant than most other animals. Nobody's quite sure what it is, but in terms of the tick load for the animal size, so if we compared them to, say, something like a kudu, which is roughly, maybe slightly bigger, but roughly equal, they have a far lower tick load. And it's about half that of an equivalent animal of that size. But yes, the babies will have ticks almost straight away. We've even seen them already scratching behind their ears and behind their legs. It does get itchy. Oh, I'm sure Mom is lying off in that block, possibly having a rest, but she will move the baby away from the birth site, just because that placenta has the potential to attract, and the smell of the placenta has the potential to attract all kinds of predators, including scavenging hyenas. I haven't seen any since that very first one we saw at the beginning of the morning. I think she's escaped unscathed. She's incredible because there's a hyena den very close to this area. Okay, wildebeest, I think we're going to leave you for now. We'll come back towards the end of the sunrise safari and see if we can get a view of the new arrival, Juma's newest little being, and we were there to witness it from the beginning. Bye-bye, wildebeest. Good luck. I'm going to pop my nose in at the old, new, whatever we want to term it, hyena den that they've only just recently discovered was active. I popped around there yesterday and I didn't see any signs of life, so it could be that that female with those brand new cubs has moved, possibly even towards the other den site. But I do want to just go and investigate, particularly with all of the action that's been happening around the den. Keep my eyes peeled as we go though. You never know who might pop out. There's the other wildebeest. Ex-Ranger we were chatting a bit about the tick load. Ex-Ranger was wondering whether it would have anything to do with the thickness of the skin. Quite possibly. I mean, wildebeest skin is incredibly dense. I don't think she's there. and move a little bit closer just because it's nice and open in that particular area. They do have very, very thick skin, but then so do kudu, so I'm not sure it's completely based around that. But it makes sense because elephants don't really get parasites like ticks unless it's in the really sensitive areas. Let's just see if we can spot anything. I don't think so. I don't think she's here. But worth checking up on. That might be her. It's a view that Andrew won't be able to show you. But I think one of the wildebeest is shifting its tail around very uncomfortably in front of me. It might be her. She's having a good lick. Andrew's just doing a quick camera wipe since I've been throwing vegetation at the camera since the morning started. Don't see any signs of a new baby. I do see a baby. There's a youngster there. It's not our newborn. Still got its umbilical cord attached. That's the brand new arrival from yesterday. And Mom's probably... our new mom is probably resting up in the shade somewhere as the baby gathers strength. Sorry, please excuse the coughing. Nope, no sign of her here. Most of the rest of the herd has gone to move towards where the babies were lying down. I'm going to do one more loop of the block. I was on my way to the hyena den, but I think that she's going to come out really, really soon. So while we do that, let's head back across to Brent, and I'll catch up with you very shortly.
So apparently poor Jamie is having a bout of the whooping cough. So you're back with me for a bit. Don't worry guys, I'll look after her when we go home. I did get her some medicine from Alan yesterday. So as you can see, we are surrounded by absolutely nothing. But we are still searching far and wide, high and low. So update from Arathusa, there is also nothing there. So I think I saw a nice herd of zebra before we went live. Let's see if we can catch up with them. They were in this area. Another type of acria. Oh, where'd it go? There he is. So different species of acria. Number 2 for the morning. Now, let's see if we can ID this one. This is one of the smaller species, or the medium species. And sometimes the problem with acrias is you actually have to look at the distribution of them to figure out which one it is, because a lot of them look very similar. Okay, and a lot of them won't be in the book as well. So the last one we saw was a Christmas tree acria, which was, but this one I feel is a pseudo acrias. The acrias are before. Pseudo acria. Charaxes. I'm getting lost. As I said, there we go. This book is not user-friendly. So based on size and spots, I'm going to go... could be a male. Nuabule. Have a look here. Nuabule. See, that it does occur here, and it is one of my favorite ones, just judging from the size, and favorite in terms of name. It has got possibly the best name of all butterflies in the world, the common name. It is called a wandering donkey. So, definitely one of my favorites, just based on the name. Okay. It seems like we are doing a butterfly drive at this sunrise safari. While we're moving on, James Taylor, good morning, James, would like to know, do we have any carnivorous plants here? We do, and I'm actually going to keep an eye out to look for it. I'm not sure whether you mean carnivorous as in they eat the insects or eat other plants. We have more species that will eat other plants than insects. Mistletoe, I suppose that's not really carnivorous, more parasite. Parrots. It's a parasite. But in other parts of Africa, that you do get the carnivorous plants that eat insects, especially in the rainforests. Might get a carrion plant or two that occurs here, and that's a carnivorous plant that, more kudu, pala, a carnivorous plant that actually smells like rotting flesh to attract flies in to eat. So impala, there's a nice kudu in the road. All looking very lethargic in this heat. No kudus. Quite often nicknamed the grey ghost. They're not quite grey. For every, whoopsie, for every one you see, there's 3 you don't. Oh, see how a bit of preening there, get rid of some ticks. We're coming up towards the sandy patch. That's where that nice big group of zebra was this morning. We did have a fluffy little foal with them. And since Jamie had a baby wildebeest, I'm going to find a baby zebra. It's not quite as young as the one you guys have with Jamie. I can see the zebra tracks. Not often do I track zebra. I generally prefer to keep my tracking to the big cats and wild dogs, but you know, one must do what one must do. So a giraffe track heading in this direction. zebras have absconded from where they were earlier. They were all on this nice open area, but it was still cool. Who's watching the Arathusa Dam Cam asks, do vervet monkeys eat meat? There's a ferocious battle happening. They do. They are omnivores. Unfortunately, I'm a long, long way away from the Arathusa Dam. Otherwise, I would shoot there. But can you tell me a bit more about what the battle is happening? Is it? It's possibly. I'm going to now be guessing. That's incredible, an Egyptian goose and a vervet monkey. Now that is very interesting, and a vervet monkey, as an opportunist and an omnivore, might possibly try to grab a gosling, but with an adult, I think a goose would probably give a very good account of itself. Absolutely fascinating.
Guys, there's our little baby. At the back there, that is the brand new baby wildebeest. Healthy and happy and walking around. There you go, you can just see little legs. Awesome. Hey, Hornbill, I'm trying to talk. Shush. There it goes. You can even see the dangling little umbilical cord. Already dry, or starting to dry. How special is that? The end point, or not the end point, but at least the final act in the first part of this little one's life. Very skittish. Still very nervous, so I'm not going to push too hard to try and get a clear view. We have at least seen it healthy and happy. I'll follow the road a little bit, see if she comes out. Yay! She was up and about and wandering around. And Christine in Texas, you were wondering what is the name given to baby animals that are born with all of their sort of senses ready to go, ready to move and run around. And the answer is it is precocial. Precocial babies are born with that ability. Same for birds, so things like lapwings that don't have time in the nest are known as precocial birds. And then anything that's born blind, deaf, still very small and weak and unable to fend for itself or move is known as altricial. So precocial and altricial. Here for the moment. Hopefully she comes out into the open. Here it is. Looking for a meal already. Hello, monster. Welcome to the world. Stumbling along on little legs. Born less than an hour ago and already wobbling its way through the world. Still see us through the trees there. D-man, I think that yes, he, she, it has already had its first drink of milk. It would have been one of the first instincts that comes into play after standing. Oh, look, it's still wet. but it would have had its first drink. That's probably what Mom was busy doing when she was hiding out in the bush, forming that bond with her new offspring. So amazing. What an incredible morning this has been. Hello, Wobbly. Stumbling around. Now apparently, sleep time for an exhausted mom and baby. Now Teresa and Sharon are both suggesting we call it tinsel since it is Christmas. Well done, Mom. Good job. Well done, big girl. Very well done. It's okay, girl. We'll keep an eye on things. You can lie down. Tiny creature. Sure. The continuation of life is one of the most mind-boggling aspects of being out here. Such a peaceful scene. I would never have spotted it if I'd come around now. We were lucky that it was up and about. Imagine coming into this world and having to walk and feed straight away and go wandering around. The overstimulation must be mind-boggling. Keeping it a clean. Oopsie daisy. You wobbly little one. Just making sure that she licks away as much of the effects of the birth as possible so that its scent doesn't attract extra predators. Oh, look how its legs are shaking. Can you believe that we started this morning looking at those hooves sticking out of Mom? Look where we are now. And now she's tucking into breakfast, as she deserves to. Little legs wobbling. Slightly bow-legged back legs. Oh, and navigating a fallen tree. All of those obstacles that we don't even think about. Daya, who's watching on YouTube, as we're watching this little one stumble around, looking hugely fragile, Daya was saying that she's surprised that they haven't, with all of these babies, that it hasn't attracted more predators. I wouldn't be surprised if there are at least leopards lurking, and definitely a hyena, as we saw this morning. But bear in mind, of course, that the babies are popping out all over the place, not just on Juba. So the predators are obviously having a field day elsewhere. Sorry, everyone. I am desperately trying not to cough. Unfortunately, the tickle in my throat is making it almost impossible. Now, we saw the mum lying down earlier as she was straining, and Charlotte was wondering whether she would have given birth lying down or standing up. And I think that the last portion of the birth, I could be wrong, but I suspect the last portion of the birth was done standing up, just to provide a little bit of extra leeway. So the little one's introduction to the world may have been a rather sudden drop. Now I'm going to reposition and loop around so we can get a clearer view and have a bit of a cough off screen, and we'll head across to Brent. While I do that, I'll be back with you very soon.
So we just got a report that Tingana's tracks, very fresh, crossed into our area. So I'm just checking on these major game paths here, see if he's already crossed the main access road. But don't worry, I'm still looking for butterflies at the same time. Could very possibly still be in this area. I just want to make sure he hasn't crossed over. There are some pans with water. He might have gone there for a drink. Here's another big game path that you might like to use. Disappeared. I think we've done well, 6 species, 5 definite species, and I think we're just going to have to count the blue as a family unless we get butterfly nets and start catching them. And even then, if we do that, it can be very, very difficult to ID the species without looking under a microscope. Alyssa says we need to get a butterfly net. I think you guys just want to see me running around the bush like an idiot waving a net. And we've got one last little gamble at butterfly species. So butterflies often are around ponds and they come drink the moisture at the edge. So let's go see if Pete of the pond hippo has got any butterfly friends. They'll be there in about 20 seconds. Oh, false alarm, saw a dragonfly, not a butterfly. We are hoping beyond hope. Excuse me, young men, we are in a rush now. There's none of this. Oh, there we go! African monarch! Oh, where'd he go? Let's go forward. Oh, another African monarch. We've got 2, so we should be able to catch one of them. Fluttering off the front of the vehicle. Where'd it go? To the left. Ah. They're playing tricks with us. We'll try one more time. Hello, Pete. There don't look to be any butterflies on the edge, and that monarch keeps moving. Where did he go? Oh, he's escaped. So we're going to say goodbye. We'll carry on our butterfly search on the Sunset Safari. But for the last few minutes, let's go have a look at that incredible baby wildy with Jamie.
The newest member of the herd has been well and truly initiated into the group. Everybody's come and had a jolly good sniff. And in some cases, it's been gently nudged around. No, sorry, little one. You're not going to be able to suckle there. That's not Mom. That's not Mom. Oh. Oh, careful, little one. That sub-adult doesn't know what to do with you. That was entirely the wrong individual. Doesn't quite fully grasp the concept of Mom versus anyone else. What a shame. It's so desperately hungry, and instinct's telling it to go there. And the sub-adult is just not having it. Ooh, it's going to get a butt if it's not careful, or a kick. Oh, careful. Go find your mom. Go find your mom. Nope, that's not Mom. It'll be interesting to watch how this particular situation plays out. I want to just see it through to the end, since we've all been so invested in this little calf's life. No, baby, that's not Mom. Yes, well done. There we go. I think that's Mom. It's actually really difficult to tell. Here we go. Is that Mom? Come on, let it drink. Maybe not. No, that can't be Mom. The tail's not wet or matted. And she won't let it suckle. Oh, shame. Poor little one is shaking with the effort. No, wrong side, wrong side. Is that Mom? Can't tell. Doesn't look like it. If it were, surely she would be letting her baby feed at this point. Poor little one, struggling, shaking from the effort. Just really want to get to the point where we see our little one safely feeding and allowed to feed. This individual doesn't seem to be too keen on the idea. Oh, I think it managed there.
I think it's suckling.
Oh, I think it was suckling. Maybe Mom's just unaccustomed to the feeling. Here we go. Little tail wagging.
Woohoo!
Yay! Almost. Still, the coordination is not fully there, but at least it's having a little bit of a snack. Well, what an incredible end to a fantastic morning. I'm going to leave these wildebeest in peace now. They've had quite enough of us. And having been watched for the last 6 hours very closely. Shame, little one. Welcome to the world. I'm so glad that we could share that incredible moment with everybody. I really, really cannot think of a more touching experience that I've had on Drive. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you to Kirsten, to Lou and FC, and of course to the wonderful Andrew for capturing some of the most tender scenes that we've experienced this morning. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and we will catch up with you and hopefully this little individual on the sunset safari. Cheers for now.